Here are 5 things the Black Stars must avoid in their game against South Korea, which is their second game at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Before we get into it, please subscribe to the channel, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. So the first thing the Black Stars must avoid in their game against South Korea is to seek personal glory. The Black Stars players must avoid being selfish in their game against South Korea. It's all about teamwork. We heard from the South Korean player who said that one of the things he has observed in Ghana's team is that Ghana does not play as a team. We don't have good teamwork, and that is what worries us. Most of our players are good individually. They have individual brilliance, and that is one thing we've seen in the Argentinian team and as such. But when you look at the Brazil team, they are very compact. They play as a unit. No matter who scores, they are happy for them. But in the Black Stars, it's all about some players looking out to improve their record. Some of them want to seek personal glory, and some people are being selfish. We must not be selfish in this game against South Korea. We must avoid being the star man of the game and all that. We must put in all the best. If a player gets the ball and has to pass to his teammate to score, pass the ball for your teammate to score. Don't seek personal glory and try and go in for an attempt which you know that you will definitely not score, and when the ball is on your weaker foot and you can't score, then you go in and take the shot just because you want to get the glory at the end of the game. If we do so, we might lose the game against South Korea. We need this game win importantly, because if we lose this game against South Korea, it means that's the end of the road for the Black Stars. So personal glory is one of the things that the Black Stars must avoid in their game against South Korea. Now, the second thing that the Black Stars must avoid in their game against South Korea is complacency. The Black Stars must avoid complaining in their game against South Korea. We saw the game against Portugal. There was not much complacency, but there was a little bit of complacency after the Black Stars succumbed to their second goal against Portugal, and that was the effect that led to third goal that we considered against Portugal. And I think that the Black Stars must avoid complacency in their game against South Korea. If any player should go wrong, just motivate your teammate and let's get the game going. I don't see the place when Andrea Ayew will get to school another young player just because they make a mistake in the game. No, if we make a mistake, let's play as a team and continue going. If a player is injured and can't play, just go out. Don't be complaining and all that. When the referee says that, well, it's a foul against Ghana, just avoid it and let's keep going. I think that was what didn't help Daniel Amate in defense, and it ended up getting booked in the game. When we saw Ali Duseidu also played a good game against João Felix. He frustrated him to a little bit, and João Felix took advantage and saw that if I get on his nerves, I'll be able to get him carded, and that is what João Felix did. And Halidou Seidu got a yellow card, and they clashed in another point, and Halidou Seidu nearly gave him a headbutt, but for the intervention of the referee. So the Black Stars must avoid complacency in their game against South Korea. Now, the third thing that I think the Black Stars must avoid doing in their game against South Korea is over celebration or over jubilation. When the Black Stars played against Portugal, the moment you got the equalizer, and to the extent that Portugal got back to the lead by scoring their second goal, realized that the Black Stars were still in a jubilation mood. They rested, they went to bed after they scored that goal against Portugal. I mean, the equalizer. Now, that is the weakest link of the Black Stars. I've been following the Black Stars since I was a child, and I've come to realize that anytime the Black Stars score a goal, that is when they go to bed. No, in this game against South Korea, I expect the Black Stars to score 3 goals. For me, 3 goals. That is what I expect the Black Stars to do, and they shouldn't be head over heels over the number of goals that they score. We must go into this game like we played against Ethiopia, where we scored them by 5-0, like we played against Egypt in that all-important qualification for the 2014 World Cup, which we beat them convincingly. We must go into this game with that mindset that even if we score 10 goals, we are not going to be so proud of ourselves. We are not going to be in cloud 9. We should be focus on the game. It's just 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, you can celebrate all you can. But if the game is still going on and players doing all those kind of skills and all that, we might end up losing the game to the South Koreans, because the South Koreans have the tenacity to be very focused in matches, and their concentration level is very high, and I expect the Black Stars to be fully concentrated in this game. I don't expect us to be celebrating when we score goals and all that. After a few celebrations, let's move on with the game and play the game till the 90 minutes. Osman Bukari, if you are going to play this game, I know you will celebrate if you score a goal, but it shouldn't be too much. So that is one point about the Black Stars in their game against Korea. Now, another point which I think will be vital for the Black Stars is that Coach Utuado and his technical team must avoid making late substitutions in the game against South Korea. Right after halftime, in the 60th minute, I expect Coach Utuado to be making substitutions. One of the reasons which I think culminated in Milovan Rajivac's unsuccessfulness with the Black Stars in the second stint was as a result of his late substitutions at the AFCON 2021, and I think that Coach Utuado must avoid that. The substitution must be on point and must be on time. The time in which Andre Ayew and Kudus were substituted in the first game against Portugal was absolutely a bad timing. The time that Daniel Kofi came on to play for the Black Stars in the game against Portugal was also a late substitution, and I think that Coach Utuado must make substitution on time and at the right time, and also make good use of the 5 substitutes. We shouldn't take time in making the substitution, otherwise it will affect us. If we bring on fresh legs at the right time, it will affect the South Koreans, because the South Korean team, they are up and doing, they can run. If you watch their game against Uruguay, they are always running. So I expect us to score more goals, then also do the defending. So when we are going to do the defending, it means that we have to get players who bring in fresh legs and frustrate the South Koreans in the game. Now, the final thing the Black Stars must avoid in their game against South Korea is to avoid defending too much. In the game against Portugal, we showed them too much respect and defended too much, and that is what I think culminated in our defeat against Portugal. In this match, I expect us to go all out. Let's play like it's the final minute of the game, like just we did. That's how we did against Portugal, where we got the second goal and Inaki Williams pushed more to get the final equalizer. Let's play like that. I don't expect the Black Stars to show much respect to the South Koreans like we did to the Portuguese. This is not a game that I expect us to do like that. Look at the way we played against Brazil, where we defended and we ended up conceding 3 goals in the first half, but later on in the second half we kept on probing and we were able to play like who we are. That is how I expect the Black Stars to play. We shouldn't be sitting back and soaking all the pressure. These South Koreans are lowly ranked like us. South Korea is not better than Ghana, and we shouldn't show them much respect in this game at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So these are the few points I have on the Blasters and what I think they must avoid in their game against the South Koreans. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me. If you don't, you can also share your thoughts in the comment section. In my next video, I'll read it out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment.